Not just another Kermit Homage. I know it's easy to walk past this lesser known brand. I'm actually guilty of that myself. But this DUKA automatic diver has brought back the excitement to an aesthetic that seems to have been homaged till exhaustion. The green bezel here is the unique and chic green, not the salad or the tropical or the seaweed greens that are imposed on us from some better known brands. The timepiece looks significant and important, yet the features call out the practical nature of this robust timepiece. We get sapphire crystal and a cyclops with a 2.5 times magnification. We get 100 meters of water resistance, a screw-down case back and a signed screw-in crown. We get a milled, signed and adjustable deployment clasp. And a feature I'm absolutely loving is the dual-tone lume that is bright and lasts for ages, shaming the more popular counterparts in this regard. This is quite hard to comprehend, well, for me at least, that I can get an automatic piece that actually looks the part, acts the part, has great materials, it's put together nicely, there is good attention to detail, and all that for $52. This is insane, because this is excellent, and because this is not such a well-known brand as the Pagani designs of this world, or the Cadison or the Bernie, it charges less for more. And as we all know, WesWatches, this channel is all about value, and I think we're getting a lot of value with this watch. But hey, watch the review and make up the mind for yourself. Anyways, so I have the links to the listing I bought this watch from in the description below the video. Make sure to check that listing out if you're after a sharp price. And now, without further ado, let's get in and discuss this DUKA diver in detail. With regards to the dimensions, we get a diameter of 41 millimeters, a lug-to-lug length of 52.1 millimeters, but that is due to the protruding male end links. We get a lug width of 20 millimeters, tapering down to 16 at the clasp. A height of 13.6 millimeters, but with the Cyclops it's 15. And a weight of 160 grams before removing any links to fit my 6.5 inch wrist. Now, this lug-to-lug length may rattle some of the faint-hearted viewers, but fear not. Just take a look at how it sits on top of my 6.5 inch wrist. Flat on top of the wrist, just right. We know the flat case profile of the watch homaged. Not much curvature at the lugs. The original design was carried well to the DUKA, and yet there are no overhangs. The watch does not feel bulky or overly wide, long, nor tall on the wrist. Looking at the profile, we see a lean, polished flank. There is a light curve at the 3 and 9 o'clock positions and straight onto the lugs. The transition to the lug hoods is done via smoothed edges. The edges look distinctive and strict, yet the bevels are very smooth to the touch. The lug hoods get a very fine vertical brushing applied. In fact, it's so refined and consistent one could easily mistaken it to a satin brush look. The bezel looks organic here. It's radially brushed along the circumference. The chisel grooves make grippy threadings on the bezel edge. The green ceramic insert features a graduated 0 to 60 scale for precise timekeeping. Bezel rotation is a satisfying experience on this watch as well. There is some resistance and it's constant across the rotation cycle. The metal ratchet of the clicks is very distinctive and quite loud. Now, there is some minor backplay, yet for this price point of $50, the bezel action is better than expected, and of course it does actually align at the 12 o'clock position, so thank you DUKA. On the right we get a signed guarded screw-in crown, quite sizable at 6.7 millimeters in diameter. But this does make the date and time adjustments convenient even if you're gloved. The tip is polished in line with the flank polishing style. On the underside we see a screw-down case back, brushed and threaded, no other markings here. As for the oyster-style stainless steel bracelet, the center links are polished, while the outer links are vertically brushed. And once again, that works. The polished center links align to the flanks. The outer links make a seamless transition to the lug hoods. The bracelet is held by screw pins, so this is another surprise. Considering the watch is only $50, we get screw pins. Wow. And the tolerances are high. This is a high quality bracelet. The fluidity of the links impresses, as does the supple feel of the outer faces of the links. All edges are smooth, feels and shoots well above the price paid. I think that's what I'm trying to say here. Everything is just so refined on here. Well, not quite everything. Let me tell you about the clasp. So here is where I'm feeling slightly intrigued. So the deployment clasp gets a handsome outer face finish, brushed look and polished center. The DUKA brand engraved in the polish element, the milled wings, the micro adjustment feature, everything is so nice. But the sharp edges on the bottom of the clasp seem like a foolish oversight. It's not a deal breaker, but this was almost the perfect bracelet. Well, under 100 bucks that is. But yeah, these two edges down the bottom, again, not a deal breaker, but slightly annoying. Now let's have a chat about the crystal here. So we do get sapphire glass, which is great, and it's a flat slab that's just a hairline or just a smidge above the bezel, and that's fine. Now, even though the glass here, so it's sapphire crystal, but the actual cyclops is mineral crystal, and that's a bit of a shame because, as we know, obviously it protrudes above us, and anytime you're going to knock this watch on anything is going to be happening face up, and it's not going to be the glass, it's going to be the cyclops, so that will most likely get scratched easier. Anyway, that's a bit of a downer, but hey, sapphire glass. And if we talk about the cyclops just one little bit more, it's actually aligned perfectly, right? It's not to a side, it's just right. And the magnification here does seem to be 2.5 times, so pretty nice. Attention to detail, that's what I'm finding with this watch. And now let's talk about the dial. And then of course the lume test and the movement. The brush rehaut pipes down with a slight inward slope to the piano block dial. The minute track is printed on the perimeter just under the rehaut. The hour indices are applied, the dabs of lume are edged in chrome. The brand and specs are printed on the dial, and they're printed in sterile white, in line with the indices and hands colors. There's no anti-reflective coating on the sapphire crystal, but due to the stark contrast of the white on black, there's no issues with legibility whatsoever. Now let's dive into the lume test, and here's the good stuff. Well, firstly, dual tone luminosity. That shouts premiality. Now, what is surprising is the good brightness and the surprising longevity. Now, the longevity of this lume, it just goes on and on and on. So, very impressive for this price point. In regards to the movement, well, we've got Seiko's NH35 here, and we know that movement from so many watches anywhere under $200 on AliExpress. So basically that gets us the magic lever, so if your watch stops, all you got to do is shake it side to side and it starts moving. This is a hackable movement, so when you pull out the crown, the seconds hand actually stops, and that helps you to set the time more precisely. You get 24 joules, 21,600 beats per hour, and 41 hours of power reserve. So quite a dependable, widely used movement. So nothing to write home about, but at the same time, this is what we're used to, and this is a decent automatic self-winding movement. So what do I think about this DUKA diver? Well, let's say this. I've made this my daily wearer. So I really do like this watch. It looks great, it feels great, nice materials, the attention to detail. That's what really matters about this watch. And again, value. $52. That's a really sharp price. Talking about price, I've left the link to the listing I got this watch from in the description below the video, so make sure to check it out if you're after a sharp price. Now, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please drop me a like. If you haven't subscribed, please do that to make sure you watch all the upcoming videos, and we've got plenty coming out because I do try to make at least 3 uploads per week, so there's a lot of content out there and my backlog is full for another 2 months ahead. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.